Well, we wanted to examine those bizarre atmospheric waves we saw due west of Texas, south of New Mexico and Arizona, even into Mexico itself. Of course, they show up better on the real screen and on the screen capture. Of course, we lose a little bit of data, but we're going to zoom in and subject this to different wavelengths to see if we could bring out some of these patterns. But if you look hard, you'll see shaded ripples that seem to be moving in a different speed, sometimes standing still, and um, and these ripples are prevalent in the dark shaded areas that are dark blue. That's a colder weather. We've seen these ripples before. We've shown them before, but never had we seen them so extensive uh, west of Texas. And you can see weather being created right before your eyes. You can see massive amounts of clouds just appearing out of nowhere. That usually happens at the bottom of one of those spiral low pressure systems. They shoot water out at the 5 o'clock position in lots of water. I call it a fire hydrant effect. But this is a very broad spread. This is a little different than the fire hydrant effect, even though it's the same type of phenomenon. When we zoom in on these waves, obviously there's more than one source, and they're traveling not quite in the same directions. But some of the obvious characteristics are that they're interacting just like any wave, just like water. But when you form a mosaic, generally you're looking at multiple wavelengths coming from different directions. And we know there are HAARP arrays at the four corners, but we also know that Southern Cal has a HAARP array too, and Texas may have HAARP arrays. But how those affect the weather, so far every atmospheric wave that we've ever showed you seemed to bring with it cold, dry air. Now this is the storm a couple days ago moving into the Europe area, Great Britain, Spain, France, and right ahead of it, going off screen, is a system that's right behind it. Remember, we told you these are coming back to back, and we went back today to see what was going on, and notice how flat that front edge became, almost straight as a ruler. That should never happen in physics unless, of course, another force is acting upon it. In this case, the backside of another weather system. But what has happened is it has placed Great Britain right in the middle of that stream. They're parked under that stream. They've got too much water already, and there's more on the way. So when Great Britain keeps flooding out, don't criticize me for not covering it, because I just told you it's going to happen. Now, up in the Arctic, they're saying this system may sweep down and end up in the Texas area again. How they know that? Well, it's been a pattern. But you see a double system, upper left, and then in the center of the screen, you see two systems, big spiral systems, and you can see a well-defined eye in almost all of these. And that never used to be. You used to see a well-defined eye, well, in hurricanes. And some of these act like hurricanes. But we think we just showed you clear-cut proof of VLF frequencies being used to create a flow and to bring down and travel with the cold air that's already on the way down. And we look over at the other half of the globe. We look down in Australia. Of course, Australia, you got surrounded by clouds and water and rain. Of course, none of it just ever wants to come on coast. It's just really, really bizarre how well the water in the clouds hates land, I guess. But up there in the Philippines, you see a system that just exploded yesterday. They're getting pummeled. Don't be surprised if there's some hurricane force winds on that storm. Do you call it a tropical storm? Do you call it a thunderstorm? It's been there for 2 days. Do you call it a winter storm? What do you call it?